Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming to you right here live on my YouTube channel. I'm, of course, your host, John Campea. It's an honor and a privilege to have you guys joining me here today as we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies and movie news, and all that sorts of good stuff. Got a whole lot of stuff to talk about here today. We got a Star Trek 4 coming, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Firth has got a new movie coming out. I'm always excited about that. Avengers breaks the record for opening night comic book movie of all time. All that kind of stuff to get to. But first, we're going to go right off the top with this. And I feel like I should have some like soap opera kind of dramatic, melodramatic music for whenever we need to talk about MoviePass. Of course, MoviePass is in the news again, and again, it's for all the wrong reasons. And here's why. So as many of you guys know, I am a member of MoviePass. I have a MoviePass card. I carry a MoviePass card in my pocket. Why wouldn't you? $10 a month, unlimited movies, one movie a day, up to 31 movies a month. It's a great deal. Okay, but there are some drawbacks, but whatever. I've been a little critical of them, though, even though I'm a member, of some shady stuff they do. The strong-arm tactics they've tried to use with movie theaters, the fact that they've duped their own customers by, when a movie buys sponsorship on MoviePass, MoviePass suddenly makes the other movies that is opening against MoviePass not be available to MoviePass users, which was really underhanded and dirty, and whether they're lying about their numbers and all that kind of stuff. Well, the other day I put up a video that said, did MoviePass just quietly get rid of their unlimited movie plan? Because, as you know, they've got this promotion going on right now, where if you sign up for MoviePass, and you only have this one option, you can't sign up with anything else. If you sign up for MoviePass now, you sign up for $30, and that gets you 3 months plus 3 months of like iHeartRadio All Access. So it's a special combo deal. But you don't get unlimited movies, you get 4 movies. 4 movies, which still is not a bad deal, but it's a far cry from a potential 30 movies, right? So I said, wait a minute. Did they just get rid of the unlimited plan? Because somebody wrote to MoviePass's customer service and said, hey, what's going on? Because you can't sign up for $9.95. You have to sign up for $30 for 3 months. And what the customer service at MoviePass said is that, oh, the $9.95 plan is coming back. But they never said it was unlimited. And I put up this video and said, I wonder if they're getting rid of unlimited. Well, apparently now, the guy at MoviePass, the CEO of MoviePass, just sat down and talked with the folks of Hollywood Reporter. And the Hollywood Reporter directly asked him, they said, is the unlimited movie plan coming back? To which he said, I don't know. So basically, that probably means no. So MoviePass is fundamentally and changing from unlimited 30 movies a month to 4. Still not a bad deal. But here's the other big thing. When MoviePass dropped to $10 a month, one of the big changes that apparently came out was that now you could watch a movie more than once. Because it used to be a rule on MoviePass back in the day when it was like $40 a month that you could only see a movie once. When they dropped the price to $10 and did that big push to get as many people signing up for it as possible, when people were asking customer service, and this went all over the place, that now you can use MoviePass to see a movie more than once. Yay! However, a message just got sent out today to all MoviePass members, reminding them that you can only see a movie once. You cannot go to see the same movie twice. So if you were hoping to use your MoviePass card to go and see Avengers Infinity War 3 or 4 times, too bad, you're out of luck. Now, this all comes on the heels of an independent auditor's report that worked for MoviePass's parent company saying, things don't look so good for MoviePass. So here's the thing. If you guys have MoviePass, use it as much as you can, because I do not think it's going to be around much longer. And Cinemia, which is a competitor to MoviePass, is looking better and better and better and better. Because guess what? With Cinemia, I can see Avengers multiple times. And I could see it in an AMC Prime or in an IMAX screen. And I can book my tickets online in advance. And I can pick out my seats. Not bad, huh? So, Cinemia is looking better and better. We all knew it was too good to be true. Movie theaters like AMC and other people said, look, this $10 a month for unlimited movies is not sustainable. And we're starting to see the cracks in the armor. So, hey, look, here's hope and fingers crossed that MoviePass can find a way, can find a balance to make this sort of thing work. Movie subscription services is a great idea. Cinemia is doing it better than MoviePass, but even Cinemia needs some improvement. MoviePass has a world of improvement they can make, but they could still work. They just got to figure out and find that balance. Here's hoping for all of our sakes they're able to do it. Okay, with that said out of the way, before we get to our main topics today, we do a little thing on here we call the Movie Newsfeed, because there's a bunch of things going on, but we don't have time to go in depth into all of them, but we want to make sure you're at least caught up to date with what's going on. So this is your Movie Newsfeed. And first up, if you enjoy watching a lot of TV or movies on your Amazon Prime membership, your membership fees are about to go up. According to reports, Amazon is upping their annual membership fee from just under $100 per year to $119 per year. The reason for this seems to be that Prime members are ordering more and more things from Amazon. Prime members get free shipping. And there have been indications that shipping costs for Amazon are actually going up and they need to compensate for that. Personally, I probably get about $300 of free shipping alone every single year using Amazon Prime. So even at $119 for Prime for free shipping, the television, the movie stuff, all that kind of stuff, it's still a fantastic deal for me. All right, next up, Avengers Infinity War has opened, and according to reports, it is the fourth largest opening night in film history. Reports put Avengers Infinity War at $39 million domestically on Thursday night, which makes it the biggest opening night in comic book movie history, and the number 4 overall all-time movie just behind Star Wars The Force Awakens, which made $57 million on its opening night, Star Wars The Last Jedi, which made $45 million on its opening night, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which made $43 million on its opening night. Now the question now becomes, can Infinity War catch the all-time opening weekend box office record of The Force Awakens at $247 million? It certainly has a shot, although now it looks like it's starting from a bit behind. Next up, it looks like there is indeed a 4th Star Trek movie on the way from Paramount Pictures. According to Variety, the studio announced at CinemaCon in Las Vegas that it was planning a 4th movie with Chris Hemsworth, who appeared as Chris Pines' father in the 2009 Star Trek. Zachary Quinto is also set to return. Paramount is developing another Star Trek film from J.J. Abrams and Quentin Tarantino, but sources say that that is still being written, and if it happens, it would come out sometime after the 4th movie. Next up, we've known for a while that a documentary on Whitney Houston was on the way, and now we have our first official trailer. The official title of the film is simply Whitney. The documentary feature, which is called Whitney, is an intimate, unflinching portrait of Houston and her family that probes beyond familiar tabloid headlines and sheds new light on the spellbinding trajectory of Houston's life. Using never-before-seen archival footage, exclusive demo recordings, rare performances, audio archives, and original interviews with the people who knew her best, Oscar-winning filmmaker Kevin MacDonald unravels the mystery behind The Voice, who thrilled millions even as she struggled to make peace with her own troubled past. Personally, I cannot wait to see the trailer for this is amazing. I can't wait to see this thing. And finally, Academy Award-winning actor Colin Firth has just signed on to star in the upcoming adaptation of the children's literary classic, The Secret Garden. Set in England, The Secret Garden follows Mary Lennox, a prickly and unloved 10-year-old girl born in India to wealthy British parents who never wanted her. When her parents suddenly die, she's sent back to England to live with her uncle, Archibald, played by Colin Firth. I'll be honest, I don't really know much about the book, but Colin Firth became one of my absolute favorite actors when he was in The King's Speech, so I am simply on board for anything this dude does. And that is it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed. All right, guys, with that out of the way, let's move on now to the main topics for today's show. And the main topics are, of course, submitted by you guys. How do you submit a topic or a question for the John Campea Show? It's simple. You simply email me anytime at john@thejohncampeashow.com. Put the word topic in the subject line. And as always, guys, keep those emails to 90 words or less. So let's get things going here. The first question today comes to us from Chris Lundquist. And Chris Lundquist writes, with serious shark movies, The Shallows, 47 Meters Down, making a comeback, and with Meg on the horizon, when are we going to get a new Jaws movie? Jaws is my all-time favorite movie, and while I do not want a reboot, I would love to get a sequel on Amity Island 45 years later. Why hasn't Universal pulled the trigger on this? It seems the time is perfect for Bruce's return. All right, thanks a lot for the question, Chris. And yeah, we have been getting movies like The Shallows and 47 Meters Down. And of course, we've got The Meg coming as well. And don't forget about Deep Blue Sea. That was the name of it, right? Deep Blue Sea, the one with Samuel L. Jackson. Anyway. So why aren't they making another Jaws? Well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, how many shark movies can you have? And you're right, there have already been a couple of shark movies out in the last couple of years. So, just putting out another Jaws movie might kind of feel like at this point, even though Jaws is the granddaddy of all shark movies, you do run the risk of having a little bit of, really, another shark movie kind of feel to it, let alone, really, another Jaws movie? And quite honestly, if you're going to do Jaws, probably the best thing to do is reboot, not yet another sequel. So at what point is this Amity Island going to figure out that sharks come here and eat people a lot? So that becomes a little bit of a problem. But here's the bigger thing. While you've got movies like The Shadows and 47 Meters Down that are actually pretty good and don't do bad critically per se, nobody goes to see them. Like, I think 47 Meters Down, I'm off by a little bit, but roughly speaking, 47 Meters Down worldwide roughly made about $60 million bucks. I mean, that's not exactly something that's going to get other studios going, oh my gosh, we got to make a shark movie. That one made $60 million. I think The Shallows made more, and I actually like The Shallows, but The Shallows made just barely over 100 million, like 100, 110 million, somewhere in that neighborhood. So combined, those two movies made about $170 million. Combined. Those aren't the types of numbers that make studios go, oh my gosh, we got to make our shark movie. Or it certainly isn't the type of numbers that make a studio go, we got to get Jaws going again. It's just not the case. So, well, now, here's the thing. Meg is coming. Meg. If Meg comes out and crushes and Meg makes like 400 million worldwide, believe me, there will be renewed interest in the studios about maybe revisiting Jaws. But that's a tall order. And that's a big if and or but. Can Meg get to 400 million worldwide? I don't know. I have my doubts. If it does, it'll renew some conversations. But as of right now, even with The Shallows and 47 Meters, simply isn't enough. There's no box office success there to entice a studio to want to do another one. So that's just the way I feel about that. All right, let's move on now to the next topic. And the next topic comes to us from Tanya Wang. And Tanya Wang writes, you've been talking a bunch lately about how you still think a fourth Star Trek movie is coming. Well, it looks like you were right. Paramount just gave two bits of news. First is that Star Trek 4 is coming, and second, that it will be the first Star Trek film ever to be directed by a woman, S.J. Clarkson. Is this one Quentin Tarantino? Is this the one that Quentin Tarantino was supposed to direct? All right. Well, as we just mentioned in the movie newsfeed, yes, a new Star Trek movie is coming. Paramount has confirmed a Star Trek 4 is on the way. Now, remember, they talked about Star Trek 4 right after Star Trek Beyond came out. And they said they got their idea for Star Trek 4, and Chris Hemsworth's going to come back. Because remember, Chris Hemsworth plays Captain Kirk's dad in the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek film. And he's going to come back. However, then Star Trek Beyond went on to not do so well at the box office. And then we heard nothing about another Star Trek movie for a little while. Well, and some people even started whispering that maybe they're not doing it, maybe they're not doing it. Well, apparently they are. And no, as we mentioned in the movie newsfeed, this isn't the one that Quentin Tarantino was getting involved with. The one Quentin Tarantino is involved with is he pitched an idea. J.J. Abrams liked it. They went to the studio, and the studio got a screenwriter to put together a script just to see if it's something that they like. So the Quentin Tarantino one is still a little bit up in the air, but it's still on the books at this point, and this isn't that one. The idea of the director is interesting because while this woman has never really directed anything I'm familiar with, she's directed a lot of television and a lot of big, high-profile television series. And she apparently has been pretty sought after lately. Like, people have been looking at her a lot lately to make the jump to feature. And so Star Trek might be a nice landing pad for that. And it's great. It'll be the first time ever that out of all the Star Trek movies that we've had, first female director doing it, great. But more importantly, she seems qualified. She's got a lot of narrative storytelling under her belt, a lot of successful television. Let's see if she can translate that over there as well. So I'm excited because I am a fan of the JJ verse Star Trek movies. I'm a big fan of it. Do I like it better than the originals or anything like that? That's not the right discussion. The discussion is I think these are good, and I really enjoy them, and I loved Beyond. I thought the last one, Star Trek Beyond, was the best one of the bunch. So that one just made me even more hungry for another Star Trek film. All right, we move on now to the final main topic of the day, and the final main topic today comes to us from Davin Kari, or Karhai, who writes, well, it's here. Avengers Infinity War is now in theaters, and I saw it last night. I loved it, but agree it's not quite top 3 MCU movies. But that's not the point. Last chance now to make opening weekend predictions. Does Infinity War break the opening weekend box office record this weekend or not? Bring on that sweet filthy. Well, thank you so much, Davin, and may the filthy be with you also. So that's the big question. That's the one. Look, everybody is known. The question has not been, will Avengers Infinity War be a giant smash success? The answer to that is obviously yes. Everybody's known that. The question has been, will it be the biggest ever? Will it break that opening weekend box office record? Now, I have said forever that no, it won't. It won't catch Star Wars The Force Awakens. It's just too big of a number. However, then I saw the most recent tracking numbers come out saying anywhere between 235 and 250. And then I saw the movie myself and I saw people's reaction. I went, I've been saying for years that it is not going to catch Star Wars The Force Awakens, but now I'm thinking it will. Well, maybe I shouldn't have changed my mind. Maybe I shouldn't have doubted myself, because as it stands, it just opened. Its opening night was $39 million, which makes it the biggest opening night of any comic book movie ever in history. However, it was quite short of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Star Wars The Force Awakens made, what did we say there in the movie news feed? Star Wars The Force Awakens ended up making $57 million on its opening Thursday night. We've got Avengers Infinity War made 39. So there's quite a gap there. So that means it's already starting behind the 8 ball. But now, keep this in mind too. It's not like that's perfectly projectable. It's not like just because, well, on the Thursday night, it finished 20% behind The Force Awakens. Therefore, we can extrapolate that over the weekend and it will fall 20% short overall the weekend. It doesn't quite work that way. Just because it has that number on the first night, the opening weekend can be totally different. So if you are indeed, Davin, if you're giving me one more chance to make my final prediction is going back to what I was saying all along before I started doubting myself the other day. But hey, make no mistake, I can't come out here and say what I cannot say. I said all along that it wouldn't break the Force Awakens record. No, because that one day, a couple days ago, I did change my mind. And I shouldn't have done that, but I did it. So there it is. I can't claim that, but I'm going to have to go back to what I originally said. Now it seems the projections have been adjusted and the projections bring it in about 230 million. Now the projection is saying 225 to 235 million, which will still make it the second largest opening in film history. So that's nothing to sneeze at. Obviously the biggest launch in any comic book movie in history, and maybe the second, maybe possibly third largest opening of any film in cinematic history. So regardless of how you want to sniff at this, it is a glowing smash success. And obviously the critics are really liking it. The audiences seem to be liking it. I really like it. Again, I don't have it in my top 3 MCU films, but it's definitely in my top 5. I loved it. I saw it with Ray last night. Ray was literally on the edge of his seat, hooting and hollering the whole movie. It was pretty fun to watch. So yeah, I'll go with that. But again, great opening for it. Largest comic book movie opening night ever in history. 4th largest opening movie in history. Let's see now how the rest of the weekend. But don't fool yourself. It still has a shot. Like I've gone back to my original prediction that it doesn't catch The Force Awakens. But make no mistake, it does have a shot. Don't be too taken with the fact that it fell a little bit short on its Thursday night totals. There's still a lot of weekend to come. So do not be deceived. It is still possible that it could catch The Force Awakens. I'm guessing that it won't, but it's still totally possible. Do not count it out yet. That would be a mistake. All right, guys, with all that stuff out of the way now, let's take a few minutes here and go over to your live questions. You guys have been firing these questions in live, so let's check out and see what you guys are talking about. We're going to start things off here with KW Garrett 83, who writes, well, you were right. I like it when people say that. Not a lot of people say it very often, so I got to take it where I can get it. Well, you were right. MoviePass CEO told Hollywood Reporter he doesn't know if Unlimited plan will return. Translation, it ain't coming back. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. And look, let's be realistic here. As much as I, still say, hey, MoviePass acts really shady sometimes and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Let's be real. 4 movies a month for $10 a month is still a good deal. I mean, hell, depending where you live, like I live in a place where just my average movie ticket costs 14 or 15 bucks for one ticket at the AMC Burbank 16. That's not AMC Prime. That's just a regular movie. If I'm going to go into a Prime movie on Saturday night, I'm paying 21, 22 bucks a ticket. So just for regular theaters, 15 bucks. Ergo, 10 bucks a month for one movie is technically still a pretty good deal. To get 4 movies a month on 10 bucks a month is still a good deal. It is a far cry, though, from a potential of 30 movies a month. And that's what they used to get everybody hooked in. And then they made it sound like when they dropped to 10 bucks a month that, oh, hey guys, you can see a movie now as many times as you want. Yay! Well, apparently that's gone now too. And now, on top of all that, I've had a bunch of you guys writing me about this, that you've been getting notifications that a bunch of you guys are starting to get notifications now that you need to take a picture and upload a picture of your physical movie ticket to MoviePass as well. So it's being chipped away at a little bit. Let's see if they can recover. But again, make no mistake, like 4 movies a month for 10 bucks a month is still a ridiculously good deal. Still a good deal. I would just recommend MoviePass at that point, but that's just me. Or Cinemia, I mean. Let's see. Jay Bling writes, Peter in Deadpool 2 got the biggest trailer reaction at my Infinity War showing. The 150 million tracking number is likely due to people wanting to see if he survives his Halo jump. Yeah, I mean, okay, first of all, again, we have been talking now ever since that Deadpool 2 trailer came out, dude. That Peter character, the hard cut from Deadpool going, okay, you're in, to him skydiving with the team is one of the most brilliant single hard cuts I've seen in a trailer in like a year or two. It was so perfectly timed, so beautifully set up in the trailer. It was just marketing genius. And yes, you're right. In it's funny, the trailer that got the biggest pop in the theater I was in was the Venom trailer. But that moment of Peter doing his Halo jump, that got a huge reaction. Huge reactions out of fans. And you're right. We talked about it on the Movie Newsfeed the other day. Deadpool 2 right now is tracking for 150 million opening. That is a significant hike over the first Deadpool that opened to a surprisingly large 132 million, which shocked everybody. And now they're putting the tracking for this at even higher at $150 million. Deadpool 1 is still the highest grossing box office film of all time that's rated R. Deadpool 2 looks like it might be poised to break that record. Let's see how good the movie is and if it can have the return business that the first Deadpool did, because people kept going back to watch Deadpool again and again and again. Let's see if that happens with Deadpool 2. All right, Cool Commander writes, better villain, Shannon Zod or Brolin's Thanos? Without question, no questions asked, Thanos. And you know I love me some Michael Shannon General Zod. I love Michael Shannon General Zod, and I love that movie. Man of Steel is in my top 10 greatest comic book movies of all time. I love that, and part of the reason for that is how much I like the General Zod character. However, no doubt, Thanos is the better villain. I mean, it's all subjective. You might have a different opinion than me. That's fine. But if you're going to ask me my opinion, it's not even, no hesitation, no doubt. No, let me think about it. No, it's Zod. Zod is the one. Zod is the dude. But Thanos trumps Zod. He just does. I mean, it might be, again, let me emphasize this. I think there is an argument to be made. There is an argument to be made. I'm not saying this definitively, but there is a discussion to be had about who's better, Heath Ledger's Joker or this Thanos. I mean, this character, I can't remember the last time we saw forget comic book movie. I can't remember the last time we saw a movie villain that had this much dimension to him, this many layers to him, this amount of depth to him. The Russos gave us such an incredible character. And I'll say this, which is going to make a lot of people mad at me. The Thanos in the movie, way better than the Thanos in the comic books. They gave more life to this Thanos than any comic book incarnation of him. It's just brilliant. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go with Thanos over Zod, although I love Shannon Zod completely. Chris Miner writes, hey John, with the positive reception coming from Avengers Infinity War, how much will it impact Ant-Man and the Wasp in the box office? A lot? A little? Thanks. Well, one of the tricky things that they're going to have with the marketing of Ant-Man and the Wasp is that they're not really showing any connection to Infinity War. Like, most of this movie happens just before or concurrently with the events of Infinity War. So it's a standalone story. I'm sure they're going to find a way to tie it in. But can you market it that way? It's going to be really interesting to see how they market it. Let's put it this way. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp will definitely benefit from opening just 2 months after Infinity War. It will benefit. I don't know that it's a night and day benefit. Like, it would have opened to 120 million and now it's going to open to 200 million. I don't think that. But I think, hey, this is a movie that probably could have opened to about $100 million and now could open to 130 million. So I think it'll benefit more by opening 2 months after Infinity War than, say, 6 months after Infinity War. So yeah, I do think there's going to be some afterglow effect there. All right. Angel Chang writes, saw Avengers Infinity War twice last night. That's awesome. Third best Marvel movie for me. Hearing the audience reaction is fun too, especially when what's about to happen. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most fun things. And I went off on this a little bit this morning on the John Campea, on open mic, I should say. We were talking about how nothing beats the actual movie theater going experience, especially when you get a movie like a Star Wars or like a big comic book movie like Avengers Infinity War, where you can never replicate the atmosphere in a movie theater at home. You just can't do it. Sitting there last night, surrounded by 400 other people who are gasping and laughing and screeching and whatever, all at the same time, laughing and crying and all this, all at once, like that huge, big shared emotional experience with all these people. Nothing can ever duplicate that. And especially at a movie like Avengers Infinity War. And you're right, it's one of the best things about watching Infinity War is just being there and watching the reactions of everybody around you as the movie's going on. It's amazing. All right, Kevin Brown writes, I agreed with you a while back when you talked about how announcing contract extensions for certain actors would be a huge spoiler before a movie like this. Add movie sequels to that list. Well, I've been talking about that for a long time, right? Like, going into Infinity War, one of the things we could say, well, you know Peter ain't dying because we already know Spider-Man 2 is coming. And on top of that, like, that's one of the reasons why I believe that we're seeing Disney not announcing any other movies. And I think that's one of the reasons they're not going to Comic-Con Hall H this year. It's because they've got nothing big or major to announce. Because they can't. They're keeping everything after Spider-Man Homecoming 2. And I know that's not what it's going to be called. But everything after Spider-Man Homecoming 2 is being a very closely held secret. I don't honestly know when they're going to make an announcement what comes after that. But yeah, they're going to play that close to the vest for now. Jameson writes, John, you've talked about being on movie sets in the past, but which set visit has been your favorite and why? My favorite set visit was for this little movie that most of you guys have probably never even heard of, called Pathology. And it was written and produced by my buddies Mark Neville-Dean and Brian Taylor. They invited me to go down and visit the set for that. And it was great. Had a great time on it. That's the first time I ever met Milo Ventimiglia. And Milo Ventimiglia, Pathology was his starring vehicle. He was the star of that movie. But you also had like Michael Weston in it, Alyssa Milano. That's the first time I met Alyssa Milano was there. Lauren Lee Smith, Johnny Whitworth. Anyway, it was a great cast. But because I knew, unlike other set visits where, you're invited and you're there, I actually knew the heads of the movie. I knew the writers and producers. And so they were able to show me like a really good time. The other favorite one also includes, hold on a second here. Let me see if I can find out this one guy's name just for, I won't be able to find it, but the other one is another Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor film called Crank High Voltage, Crank 2. And I got to visit that. The reason being that's one of my favorites is if you guys saw that movie, you remember Amy Smart, who is like one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. And she's so fun to watch on screen. Like she did that one comedy, what was it called? Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds. Stupid looking movie, but very funny. And she did this movie, Just Friends. She's like one of the most adorable women ever in any movie. But anyway, and Amy Smart, she's ridiculously beautiful. But in between shots, I went down to the strip club where they were doing the strip club scene in Crank 2. And they let me get on stage and dance with Amy Smart. So that clearly puts it up there on my list of some of my favorite experiences on a set visit ever. But yeah, it's more because it was a personal touch. Because I knew the guys who were actually running the film, I got to have a little bit more of an easy time and a more fun time. So those are my favorite experiences there. All right, let's move on here. Next one comes to us from Murray for Us, who writes, oop, and we just had the big jump. Okay, let's see. Where did it go? There we go. Murray for Us writes, boy, I've looked online for the Infinity War gauntlet you got. It's mad expensive, damn. Yes, but it was a gift from my wife. My wife who happens to work at Hasbro, and I was able to get it. And I love that gauntlet. That gauntlet's like one of my favorite things that I've got. You can see it right there. There's the base of it right there. There's my gauntlet. It is a little expensive, but like I said, it was a gift from my wife. So yay. One of the reasons why when my wife came to me and said, John, I have an opportunity to go and work for Hasbro. Do you think I should change jobs and go and work for Hasbro? 2 questions, honey. Yes. Do they still make Star Wars toys? Yes. Okay. 2, do they make Marvel toys? Yes. What are we talking about then? Go, take the job. Go take that job and bring me my toys. So yes, it is expensive though. Lycon Zero writes, is it wrong that I feel a sense of relief after seeing Infinity War and not being spoiled? I feel both good and bad about it for reasons. Well, yeah, I mean, look, that's one of the things we were talking about in the days leading up to it, right? Like when the first audiences started to see it like overseas, like one of the big things is the amazing sense of relief that, like I remember when I walked into the theater for the premiere, walking through the door, going actually into the movie theater itself where I'm about to take my seat. I remember when I walked in, I just had this breath of relief going, I made it. I got here. All this stress and tension and all this apprehension about every time I was opening Twitter going, should I look at my Twitter feed or not? Like all that apprehension was now gone. And I walked in the theater and went, okay, now I don't have to worry about spoilers. I mean, it was a big breath of relief. I see where you're coming from, but no, don't feel bad that you felt that way, because I felt that way too. Frank and Beans writes, sup GC? What's worse, seeing a movie and not being able to talk about it with anyone, or not knowing and waiting in anticipation? Oh, that's easy. Seeing the movie and not being able to talk to anybody about it. That's the worst. Because I was like, I want to talk to you guys about this so bad. I want to tell you about this one thing. And like after I saw Infinity War, it was like a horrible experience for me trying not to spoil anything from the movie for you guys. Like just trying to, like, oh my gosh, I want to talk about this scene. And I want to talk about this scene. Once again, guys, don't forget, mark it on your calendars. This Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is when we're doing our Avengers Infinity War all spoiler 2-hour-long open discussion where we can all just jump in here and talk about Avengers Infinity War and all of its spoilery goodness. So by Sunday, most of you will have had the opportunity to see the film by then. So I feel pretty safe that we can do it on Sunday. I was actually going to do it on Saturday, but because then you figured you got Thursday, you got Friday, you got Saturday matinee, we can do Saturday. But I had a bunch of you guys write to me and ask me to bump it one more day to Sunday. So that's what we did. So make sure you join us for that. It's going to be a really good time. But yeah, for me, no question. It's not seeing it and not being able to talk about it. It drives me crazy. I'm actually okay with waiting for anticipation. Like even with the Star Wars movies, like I'll be really excited, but like it's not the be all and end all. Like I'm not going to die tomorrow. But when I know something about a movie, it kills me not to talk about it with people because I want. That's what I do for a living, man. I talk about movies all day with people. So when I know something about a movie and I can't talk about it, it drives me crazy. Absolutely drives me crazy. Let's see. Michael Lagrange writes, in the style of Happy Death Day, one MCU movie you have to live over and over again each day. Which one would you pick? Ooh. Now, not just which one would I watch over and over again. Which one would I live over and over again? Let's see. Certainly not Ant-Man, because he had a bad day. A Captain movie, a Thor movie. Man, one that I'd have to live over and over again. I don't know. I don't know. It's a great question. I'd hate whatever answer I give right now won't be the truth because I'll think about it more after I'm done the show and I'll come up with 5 other answers. It's an interesting question. Let's turn that one back around and put it to the audience. What do you guys think? If you had to live in one MCU movie and then you had to live that day over and over again, which MCU movie would you feel best to be in? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Interesting topic. Daniel Quintana writes, caught a 2 a.m. showing of Infinity War to avoid spoilers and watch in IMAX. I hate that I can't talk to somebody about it. I love it. Well, you can talk to us about it on Sunday. And sure, certainly by Sunday, more and more people you know will have had a chance to see it. It's funny because Ray and I are here at the house and Jonathan, fact checker Jonathan, came over today too. And it's like when Jonathan was over, me and Ray were like, oh yeah, we don't say anything about it because Jonathan's not going to see it till Sunday with his wife. So we had to be very careful not to. So be mindful, guys, of your friends. When you're around friends, just because you and 1 or 2 of your friends have seen it doesn't mean all of your friends have seen it. Just be careful not to spoil it for anybody. But you're right. That is one of the most frustrating things in the world, Daniel, not being able to talk to anybody about it. Okay. 2 more questions here. Justin Luchek writes, love the show, John. Thank you so much. Seeing Infinity War in 5 hours. In your opinion, does Infinity War pass Return of the King for greatest cinematic achievement? No. No, not even close. Not even close. No, I'm not saying Lord of the Rings Return of the King is 10 times better than Avengers Infinity War. That's not what I'm saying. But when I say that Lord of the Rings Return of the King is the single greatest achievement, I think, in cinematic history, I'm not talking about overall how good the movie is. But when you look at the cinematography combined with the script writing, combined with the costumes, combined with makeup, combined with sound and sound editing, combined with the music, combined with the performances, combined with the acting, combined with blah, blah, like all the individual, combined with the visual effects. There has never been a film in history that has put together such a complete package. Hence, Lord of the Rings Return of the King swept all 11 categories it was nominated in at the Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It swept all of them. I don't think we're ever going to see that again. We're never going to see that again. Where a movie gets nominated for at least 10 Academy Awards and sweeps all of them. I don't believe it's ever going to happen again. Avengers Infinity War is a great movie and it's a huge epic scale movie, but you know, there's just too many things. Like when you talk about all the different disciplines and arts that go into making a movie, Lord of the Rings Return of the King is just on another level from any movie. And no, not even Avengers Infinity War comes close to that. Now, you may like Avengers Infinity War more than you like Return of the King. That's totally fine, but I'm going to stand by that. That as far as an overall achievement and taking into consideration all the individual disciplines that go into making a movie, no film has ever put together such a package as Return of the King, Lord of the Rings Return of the King did. And no, Avengers Infinity War does not come close to that. No film has ever come close to that, in my opinion at any rate. Okay, Francesca De Pisa writes, I saw Infinity War last night and I am very overwhelmed and I think you meant keep. Thinking about certain scenes over and over again. Great movie, though. Lived up to the hype. I see somebody asked me that this morning. Does it live up to the hype? And I say, yes. If you're talking about the actual real hype, yes, it lived up to it. I mean, the hype of it's going to be the best movie of all time. Most people did not think that. So that's not your bar for the hype. Most people did not think that. But the hype as we're excited, this looks like it's going to be great and an entertaining, like great movie experience. Then yes, it absolutely lives up to the hype. Not for everybody. I mean, film is subjective. Not everybody's going to love it. That's totally fine. But I think for the most part, it did live up to the hype that it had. All right, and this is going to be the last question today. And by the way, guys, listen, if you have a question after Tony here, don't worry, your question is going to get answered on tomorrow morning's companion video. I take all the questions that get sent in that I don't have time to get to, and I still put them on another video. It's called the companion video that'll be up first thing tomorrow morning. So if you sent it in, don't worry, your question isn't getting ignored. It's going to be answered on the companion video in the morning. But we're running out of time for today. So the last question today comes us from Tony Mandler, who writes, John, I'm bummed I bought tickets for Infinity War for Saturday at 11:30. I forgot that there is a parade where my theater is and getting there is impossible. Don't laugh. I had the exact same experience, not because of a parade, but because of a highway closure. It was back during Carmageddon. And we're supposed to do this press screening for a movie I was looking forward to as well. I can't remember what the movie was off the top of my head. But the 405, this really busy highway in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles in the best of times has terrible traffic. They were going to close down the 405, and people were already calling it Carmageddon, like before the closure even happened. And so I had to skip that screening per se. But look, there's always a way to get there. You might have to leave plenty early. You might have to do whatever you need to do, but find a way. I believe in you. You can get there. Walk if you must. All right, guys, that will do it for me for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for joining me. And listen, guys, special shout out to all you guys who are my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, do me a favor. If you're somebody who enjoys this program, jump over to patreon.com/John Campea. Get all the information about what it means to be a Patreon supporter of the John Campea Show. Find out how being a Patreon supporter keeps this show on the air, and also what benefits there are to being a Patreon supporter as well. Maybe you'll become a Patreon supporter too. So special thank you to all you guys who are my Patreon supporters. I'll see you in the Facebook group there as well. Also, guys, don't forget what I want you guys to do, what I need you guys to do. Jump on the Stardust app. Get the Stardust app, load it up. Make sure you follow me at John Campea. Make sure I'm the first person you follow on it. And then write in or record your review and reaction to Avengers Infinity War. It can be a spoiler because I'm looking to use some of the best reactions on the spoiler review on Sunday. So when you see it, record your review, tag me at John Campea on your screen, tag at John Campea, send it up. That way I'll see it and I'll pick out some of my favorite reviews and reactions to it, and we'll share a bunch of them on the Avengers Infinity War spoiler review on Sunday as well. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification button. Follow me on Twitter, simply at John Campea. You can see right there. That'll do it for me, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. My name's John Campea, and until my next video, bye-bye.